Am I live? Is this my live? Am I live? Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. Um, we're going to talk about all kinds of neat stuff today. We're going to talk about predictive programming. We're going to talk about more interstellar objects. We're going to talk about Carrington events, the end of the world, and what's supposed to happen. Oh, my hair's. What's supposed to happen tomorrow, and maybe even the rapture. Sorry about that. So I'm going to run the intro while you guys join me, and I'll talk to you soon.
An asteroid strike is expected.
No. Hi. That was that was too soon. Hey, Jingles. Hi, Nicole. You must be tired. You've been modding your butt off today. So I don't know if you all have heard this, but there have been all kinds of rumors and speculation that something huge is going, like life-changing, is going to happen tomorrow, September 23rd. Anybody heard that? Give us a wave. Hey, Yankee Kyle. Hi, honey. You are modding your butt off. That's right. Well, okay. So headlines have said, hi, Cindy. Headlines have said, not hi, Cindy. Headlines have said that there are jihadists, Al Qaeda, whatever, Hamas, that are planning attacks for tomorrow, massive attacks. And see, another one of the life-changing, oh my God, kind of thing would be a Carrington event. Because we are in a solar maximum, which happens all the time. We go solar maximum, solar minimum. Hey, Yaya. I have to pick up my grand. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, honey. Okay. Stop it. Hang on. I just need to woo-saw. So the Carrington event happened in 1859. If you remember back, well, you wouldn't remember, but if you read in history, back in 1859, there were some things that were kind of electric, but not a lot. But what we did have, which was like, state of the art, was telegraphs. So back in 1859, Richard Carrington saw a blast of white light on the surface of the sun. and that's why it's called the Carrington event. It was the largest recorded solar storm ever. It was linked with extraordinary auroras. Those are the northern lights that we can see, and that were visible in the sky near both the poles and the equator, which is way far south, everywhere from Canada to Australia. And the enormous solar outbursts also caused electrical disruptions from Paris to Boston. What ended up happening is because of the surge, the power surge that came in from the sun, it knocked out the telegraphs. And any places that did have electricity also had a huge surge. So that's what people be talking about, that we might have another Carrington event because we're kind of overdue. So that's one of the things that's planned for tomorrow. Another one is, well, there's actually a bunch. Okay, so we have like attacks. Think September 11th on a bigger scale. Some people are using the headlines that the United States and Iran conducted ICBM tests. ICBM stands for Intercontinental Ballistic Missiles. And those are usually the ones that they would attach like a nuclear payload to them. So this says we regularly conduct unarmed intercontinental ballistic missile test launches using the Minuteman II. So it's not such a big deal. But we had one yesterday. We also had Iran did its first ICBM test. And it says because they finally have the technology for it. And when I say intercontinental, remember that North America is a continent. Europe is a continent. Africa is a continent. So this isn't like state to state, country to country. These are intercontinental, passing over water. You're going to Hawaii next July for your parents' 40th wedding anniversary. Hooray! So Iran finally got the technology, and of course, we all know about the weapons of mass destruction that Iran and Iraq were supposed to have, and we don't want them to have nuclear capabilities and all that stuff. But they did a test the other day, and it failed. It says it successfully tested it, but according to everything else I see, it kind of blew up in mid-flight. So meh. So there's one of the things, with the attack coming like September 11th. Another one is, remember when I talked to you guys about 3I Atlas, the third interstellar object? It was, moving towards the Earth really fast, and it was supposed to be here like the end of October, like October 30th, and all that kind of thing. Well, surprise, surprise. We have another one. We have another one that's even bigger. This one is called C 2025 R2. Yes, just like R2D2. Let me share. And what's so weird about this one is nobody saw it until recently. This is from NASA, the APOD NASA, which is the astronomy picture of the day, APOD. So here it is. This is what they found. So it says, a new visitor from outer solar system comet C 2025 R2 Swan, also known as Swan 25b, was only discovered late last week on September 11th. That's just a day before the comet reached perihelion, which is the closest approach to the sun. Remember the last time we were talking about space stuff? And I told you that we have plans of putting like infrared cameras on satellites to look at the sun, because right now with our telescopes and whatnot, we can't look at the sun. So things could be literally hiding in front of the sun and we can't see it because the sun's too bright. So this is pretty much what happened here. So it was first spotted by Vladimir Bezugly in images from the Swan instruments on the sun-staring SOHO spacecraft. The comet was surprisingly bright, but understandably difficult to see against the sun's glare. Still close to the sun on the sky, the greenish comma and tail of the R2 Swan are captured in this telescopic snapshot from September 17. Spica Alpha star of the constellation Virgo shines just beyond the upper left edge of the frame, while the comet is about 6.5 light minutes from planet Earth. Near the western horizon after sunset, slightly easier to see with binoculars from the southern hemisphere, which is our down under, guys. The comet Swan will pass near Zebulnegnubi, star of Libra. That was hard. The star on October 2nd. R2 Swan is scheduled to make its closest approach to our fair planet around October 30th. So here we go. There we are. Remember our buddy Avi Loeb? He's the guy that warned us that the Three-Eye Atlas is probably a mothership filled with hostile aliens. That guy. Hey, Chopper. This is going to be like Mars Attacks. We'll just take away their oxygen-breathing gum. That's what we'll do. I love that movie, by the way. Okay, here we go. The new comet Swan, the C2025R2, originated from a different direction than Three-Eye Atlas. I've got these things kind of linked. Oh, stop it. No, I don't want an ovule. So there's that picture again. Smile. You're on candid camera. So SOHO is the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory. SOHO. A long tail that stretches across 2 degrees in the sky. Okay, here's the thing about this. Remember we said that Three-Eye Atlas was maybe the size of like Manhattan? It was big. It was really big. This thing is 100 times bigger than Three-Eye Atlas. So Avi says, as soon as I learned about Swan, I was curious whether it might have originated from Three-Eye Atlas, either as a fragment that broke off from a natural icy rock or as a scout released by technological mothership at a large distance. And so his collaborator, Peter Veers, confirmed it came from a different direction there, Avi. So they go on to talk about all this stuff. And the weird thing about this is evidently this Swan R2 actually comes around, they estimate, every 20,000 years or so. So it's either just that's its orbit, we happen to be in during it, or that's its planned surveillance time. Ooh, when it's supposed to stop by Earth. I'm going to try to show this, and every time I do this, anything like this, I get demonetized. So I'm just going to show some of this. I do have the link in the description. Fair use, yada, yada, yada. Let me do this. I think I have one of these things I can put over it. There, I'm transforming it. Look, guys, I'm transforming it. And there. Look, it's all transformed and stuff. So I'm going to play this right quick. 100 times bigger. and it's brighter. And it's heading toward our sun. First spotted it on September 12th using the solar wind entropes and or SWAN instruments aboard the SOHO spacecraft. So its tail is about 5 full moons wide and about 3 times the size of Atlas. Ooh, look. What exactly is it doing in our solar system? Yeah, see, there, they thought it came from the 3-eye Atlas. Broke off until they realized this thing is huge. It's massive. The truth is worse. And like I said, I have the link for this. How do they know this comet goes math? Chopper math. They figure out this. It's not like a Pythagorean theorem, but they figure out its speed, its trajectory, you know, what its orbit would be, and then that's how they can figure out that it comes by about every 20,000 years. But if you think about it, as far as like our iteration here on Earth right now, we haven't been around for 20,000 years. Let's go over here. So, of course, our whole thing is that excuse me, this is weird stuff back here. So they're thinking that it might just stop by our thing, to pick up some energy from the sun, like maybe it's solar powered. I don't know. Refuel, see what's going on. Hey, Zen 1111. So you can watch that whole thing because they do get into some weirdness there. And it's going to glide by all 9 planets of the inner solar system. Yes, exactly. Let's be honest, it's aliens, and you just come here. They don't want everybody to know, but they came here because they want to go to Vegas and smoke our weed. Probably because I've heard that interstellar weed is not as good as some of the strains that we have here on Earth. So that's a very, very good possibility. And we're being weird. We're being weird. Okay. Oh, there we go. Dang it. Ta-da! I'm back. Let me get rid of that. Okay. So, you know how Congress has been having all of those oversight committee meetings, the hearings about UAPs? Mystery. How are you, sweetheart? They've been having all these hearings about UAPs, and they're talking about, we've retrieved some crafts and some biologics from it, and then everybody's speculating that Area 51 and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and all these places, that we've got all this stuff and we've reverse engineered the technology and blah 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 blah, all the stuff that I talk about with my tinfoil hats, right? Been around on the bushes, Chopper. It's good to see you, buddy. But anyway, so I want to show you this. Now, if you've been hanging out with me for a minute, you're familiar with the term that I use quite often called predictive programming. And just as a little, primer on it, predictive programming is when the people who are in charge of keeping the public informed and up to date, like mainstream media, like television, movies, that kind of thing, they won't come out and say, hey, it's Mars attacks, blah, 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 because right now we probably wouldn't believe them with all the AI videos. I don't know if you saw there's AI video going around of Charlie Kirk talking from heaven through AI. And those things creep me out. But anyway, so we're getting so used to this kind of thing, we're becoming numb. What do you say? Kind of skeptical about the whole alien craft and trying to reprogram it or whatever, because extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Well, depending on who you talk to, Chopper, and I love that kitty. Hi, Mo. Yeah, depending on who you talk to. Nebulous. Hi, Neb. Nothing that is reported disturbed our gravitational wobble. Exactly. Well, the weird thing is, Neb, is that these things passing by our sun, like the 3i Atlas and the R25 Swan, they're not being affected by anything either. Typically, comets and things like that are affected by solar winds and gravitational pulls from different asteroids and stuff that they pass. But these aren't being affected. Exactly. When you have AI videos going around, and this is the reason why I've been explaining, like the last video about, using AI responsibly and always labeling your videos if you use AI. Yes. And my avatar, by the way, is AI generated. This is not me wearing a tinfoil cowboy hat. Full disclosure. Anyway, predictive programming. So basically, they spoon feed you little things now and again in movies, in TV shows, in things like you're seeing it on mainstream media news. Oh, and News Nation is like going totally balls to the wall with the UAP stuff. And, people, they call them experiencers. People have been abducted. They've had close encounters, whether they've seen them. That's one. Whether they've, blah, blah, blah. It goes all the way up to close encounters of the fifth kind, which is weird. But I want to show you this about predictive programming.
September 23rd. In the movie Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, an asteroid strikes September 23rd. Julia, Julia, a meteor strikes September 23rd. Knowing, solar flare strikes September 22nd, lasting until September 23rd.
Okay, that was the Carrington event I was talking about. The solar flare that happens. Here we go.
Little Shop of Horrors. Humans are threatened by an event. September 23rd.
Feed me, Seymour.
Tomorrowland. Disaster strikes September 23rd. 23. Hell will arrive September 23rd. Sleepy Hollow. A dimension opens up September 23rd. Ghostbusters. Evil is released on September 23rd.
Who you gonna call?
This is the end. 9/23 is the date the rapture happens. Pandemic. Outbreak starts September 23rd. Either fake aliens, fake Carrington event, or a fake asteroid, September 2023.
So
TV show.
There you go. So we covered the asteroid, right? The comet had. Wait, scary movies. They're not all. Ghostbusters isn't scary. It's not scary. Hi, Oki. The end of the buying calendar is back to 2012. Oh, I missed some of it. Sorry. Oh, this is like Y2K. It's like every so many years, we get this BS. Someone comes up with something new. Exactly. Remember when the Mayan calendar ended? What was that, 2008? The same year that CERN found the Higgs boson, the God particle. Yep. Oh, it was 2012. Okay. Yes. So we covered the Carrington event. We covered the asteroid hitting. We're going to cover the rapture. Does everybody know what the rapture is? Let me get rid of that so I don't accidentally play it. Let me show you. The rapture is and I'm going to try to not be like totally geek out on this. Stop it. I went to Liberty University, and that's a Christian college, Christian university. And during that, I had to study apologetics, heretics, eschatology, and that's the study of end time events. The raptures when pretty much God comes in and takes everyone, raptures from the earth, and everyone that gets left behind are kind of like, screwed. So about as guess worthy as, yeah, exactly. They say it's science. It's not. Come on. I mean, doctors, the medical field, love them to death. Thank you for being in service like that. It's a medical practice. It's a science. They practice. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. So here's the thing. In the Christian Bible, and there are actually some scriptures in the Old Testament that the Jews still use. We're not going to go real deep into this, but especially in the Christian Bible, there's 218 Bible verses about the rapture. Gather, thank you. 208. And basically, this is the New Testament. This is when Jesus was on the earth and walking around with his people and teaching them and stuff. Opinion for a reason. Oh, yeah, second opinion for a reason. Yeah. Okay, so basically, it's things like this. And like I said, there's like 218 of these different scriptures. So First Thessalonians talking about kind of end times event. It says, after that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever. Here's the last book here, Revelation 3:10. Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that's going to come on the whole earth to test the inhabitants of the earth. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trump call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. So basically, Nicolas Cage starred in a bunch of movies called Left Behind. Anybody heard of those? Nicolas Cage. Pookie, hi, honey. Yeah, the movie's Left Behind with Nicolas Cage was about all that all of a sudden, people started going missing. And evidently, God, Jesus came back. It was his second coming and took all these Christians to be with him in the air. And we're not going to get deep into this because people will argue about this until the cows come home. It's going to happen before the Great Tribulation. It's going to happen in the middle of the Great Tribulation. It's going to happen after the Great Tribulation. Or if you're preterist, it's already happened. So we're not going to get into all that. But this is what we're hearing, is that the rapture is happening tomorrow. Yeah, because if all the doctors are kindly and benevolent, then can someone please explain? Oh, Harold Shipman. Yeah, he was scary. He was scary. Killed off a bunch of his patients. A bunch of his patients. One of the biggest serial killers in the UK. But anyway, so what they're saying is that because we are actually beginning the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah. And the Jewish calendar, the Hebrew calendar, goes on a lunar year. Okay, so this is New Year. Hey, Six Sense Amelia. Kia ora, honey. Okay. So, even though these scriptures that people quote all the time about the rapture say that no man knows the hour or the time, only the Father in heaven. Of course, they're going people saying it's going to happen September 23rd. So here's the thing. Rosh Hashanah is also called the Feast of Trumpets. And they have these ram's horns that the Jewish priests blow. They're called shofars. So what they do is they blow these trumpets and they celebrate the new year. They eat sweetmeats and all kinds of things. So it actually began yesterday, September 21st, and it goes through the 25th. But, oh, Cicerina, have a good day, honey. Take care. So, like yesterday was the first day of the new year month, which is Nisan. So people are saying, because they're adding up things. They're saying there's going to be a partial solar eclipse seen over Israel during Rosh Hashanah, during the Feast of the Trumpets. And Jesus is supposed to come back during, with the loud trumpet archangel thing going on. And now they're saying from when the war with Gaza started, October 7th, 2023, through tomorrow, September 23rd, 2025, is 717 days. And if you know anything about gematria, which is actually numbers and letters, and there's like a Kabbalistic meaning to it all, it turns out to be Vak Dalet, which in Hebrew means a door or David. Jerusalem is the city of David. So people are saying with all these things adding together, that means the rapture is happening tomorrow. Looking good so far. No rapture yet. Woohoo! Yeah. So the thing is that whether it's supposed to be some asteroid thing or people saying, oh, the aliens are going to come. There's even theories that the rapture is actually the aliens abducting everybody back, all the star seeds back into the mothership. That's why all these people are going to go missing. And you feel so uneducated when you come in here. I'm a goofball. But anyway, there's so many theories. My whole thing is that if something does happen tomorrow, well, hooray. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Number 2 is if nothing happens tomorrow, oh well, same old, same old. The point is that there's always somebody, and especially now, media is so filled with fear mongering. Enoch gonna come back? Girl, I'm doing the book of Enoch. I'm actually recording it. Woo, is that deep? But so whether it's aliens abducting all the people, or it's the grand disclosure of aliens who are going to be our overlords, or whether some people think it's going to be a massive spiritual awakening. Like I said, that Vakdalet means door or portal in Hebrew. So maybe there's going to be some great tearing of the veil, and a bunch of people are going to awaken to a higher vibration, or their spiritual selves or spiritual truth, whatever the thing is, whatever it is. The point is that, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Because that's what they want. They, you know who they are, the deep state, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. The shadow government that tries to control us. And I'm still going to do Agenda 2030. Wait. A ball of hydrogen burning away in the center of our system. That means it takes over 8 minutes for a photon to reach your eyes. Anything can happen in 8 minutes. Exactly. Anything. Wouldn't that be amazing, Zen? It would be so amazing if it was a spiritual awakening. That would be fabulous. That would be fabulous. I need to put y'all on hold. Just a minute, okay? Hold on. Just a minute. Okay, stop that. I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, so what do I tell you all the time? Keep an open mind, keep an open heart. Live this minute, live this day as if it's your last. Because honest to God, if for some reason we were raptured or a massive asteroid killed our planet or aliens came and abducted me or whatever the thing is, if I for some reason went to sleep and didn't wake up, the last thing on my mind and heart, I don't want it to be watching a drama stream. I don't want it to be CPS. I don't want it to be who's lying about what and who cares. None of it makes any difference. None of it makes any difference. I mean, if you can't go out and physically do something or donate your money or do something, you can send your thoughts and prayers toward a situation because I believe it helps. Hey, JP. Hi, honey. Amelia. Oh, your mind is so open that everything falls through it. Like I said, I love that. Oh, girl. Amelia, you're kind of a volcanologist or is that the way you pronounce it? Volcanologist? Have you heard about the hot blob that's coming down from Canada into the East Coast, and it's causing all of these, the tectonic plates are shifting, and there's this massive thing in the Atlantic Ocean. There's like this trench that's opening up. Have you heard about it? Yes. Queen sang that. Nothing really matters to me. Great. I'm probably going to get a copyright claim and demonetized. But yes. Oh, by the way, I am looking for someone to come over every day, at least twice a day, and brush their teeth with me. I need someone to brush their teeth with me because my dentist said that brushing alone is not enough. But a bunch. Sorry. Sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it. But was trying to obtain the lithium crystals off the web. The peppermint ones really suck. The dilithium crystals are cracked cotton. That's funny. Hey, Stinky. How are you, hun? autistic special interest was getting unhealthy. Okay, but I will look. Um, I don't have links for it right now, Amelia. I've been looking, seeing different things about earthquakes and, tsunamis and the volcanoes and how that it affects them with the eruptions and the Pacific Ring of Fire. I'm all over the planet. I am all over the planet. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, I do want to show something to you. Okay, and this has really nothing to do with anything other than my a Bigfoot pic. Yes. Yes. I'm doing cryptids. I'm also going to start a series looking into the FBI vault, which is from the FBI website. It's 6,000 some odd documents that they've declassified. Oh, it's fascinating. So I put something on my community wall saying, what do you guys want to look at? I mean, we could just get together and search, but I found like 100 something documents about Elvis Presley and alien stuff. I haven't found anything on JFK yet. I don't think they've actually released all that stuff yet. But here's the thing. Because my grandfather moved over from England to Canada, kind of almost World War II wasn't over, but his service was over. And so he and my grandma moved to Canada from Liverpool. Yes, my grandfather was a Scouse. So when I would go and visit them in Canada, because Canada is still part of the Commonwealth, my grandfather's what's called a monarchist. He's a royalist. He thinks that having a queen, the sovereign, was the greatest thing on the world. Like literally anything on the television, if they're playing God Save the Queen at that time, now it's God Save the King, but if they were playing God Save the Queen, he would stand. Loved, loved, loved the royal family. And so I kind of grew up with that. And being American, growing up in California, I would ask him, what's so big about having a queen? What do they do? And all that stuff. And he could go for hours on the beneficial things that the queen was doing for the Commonwealth. And Nebula. Yeah, the ear cartilage was able to grow back. Praise the Lord. But and he could go on and on and on about all the wonderful things that the queen was doing for the Commonwealth, and me being the stupid, unwashed American that I was, didn't quite understand what the big deal was. Okay, part of your taxpayer money goes for how many houses do they have? And it goes for them and all their family to live in them houses. And it goes for their clothes and their cars and all that stuff. Plus, they don't pay taxes. So my grandfather would call me a Republican, which in England is a person that doesn't think monarchy is necessary. And we could go into a big thing, but because of my background, I love following the royal family, the UK royal family. There are others like Spain; they're beautiful, and I guess Sweden and Norway, and or the Netherlands and Greece. But so my favorite are King Charles, Queen Camilla, da da da. So when Donald Trump and Melania Trump went for their state visit here last Wednesday, I followed it like a hawk. Everything that was on, everything live. So what I wanted to do was share some of that with you. And, look out now or not, but you're going to love the fashion. Oh my God. pomp and circumstance. Let me get rid of me. No, I got rid of them. There we go. There's me. Okay. This is where, okay, this is Princess Catherine. And this is Prince William. He is now the Prince of Wales. And she's the Princess of Wales. Remember that from Diana? Of course, that's DJT. And it's Melania looking fashionable. So William and Catherine actually walked out to Marine One, the helicopter that the Trumps landed in, and walked them back. And here they are. So this is King Charles. Look how little he is. He's 5'10", by the way. The Queen Consort Camilla. There's Donald and there's Melania. And, they had like a little thing. But here's the deal, okay? Number one, this is the second time Trump has visited as the president of the United States, because he had his first term. He went and he met Queen Elizabeth. This is the only time they've had a second state visit like that. And so they pulled out all the stops this time. I have theories why they did. But here, look, I'm talking all the stops, okay? They pulled out the carriages. They pulled out all the guys in red with the fuzzy hats. There's King Charles and Donald Trump in one of the carriages. Queen Camilla and Melania were in a different one. The girl in blue. Here we go. This is them. They had all the pomp and the circumstance and the bands and the trumpets and all that stuff. And they got to watch all that. They even pulled out, they call this the flyover. This was supposed to be a mix of UK and US jets. But from what I heard, the US jets weren't able to make it because of the weather. I don't know, But anyway, red, white, and blue, colors of America and Great Britain. Now, they have this huge dinner playing 50 Shades of Blue. Queen Camilla likes blue. I think she thinks it's her color. So you're going to see her in a lot of blue. But they have this big-ass dinner, okay? And this is what they all dressed up as for the dinner. There's Melania, Donald, King Charles, and Queen Camilla. And this is the future King of England, William, and his beautiful wife, Catherine. Profuma affair. Profumo affair. I don't know. Okay. And this tiara that she's wearing, we'll look at that in just a little bit. Okay. This, let me see if I can play it. This is what people did because they knew that Donald Trump was going to be on the Windsor Castle grounds. They were on the Windsor Castle grounds because Buckingham Palace is going through renovations right now, because basically it's a leaky old drafty dump. So they're kind of going through some stuff. Let me see. Oh, no, it's not going to play it. Pooh. No. Okay. This was huge. It was a picture of Trump and Epstein that they unfurled on the Windsor Castle lawn. And then somehow or another, they were able to project these things on the side of Windsor Castle. It was like, Epstein's birthday cards. Oh, Prince Philip investigated by the Profuma affair. I didn't know about that. I'll have to look into it. I've been kind of looking into right now it's the big Sarah Ferguson Epstein thing. Here's the dinner. No. So the dinner had people like the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Apple CEO Tim Cook, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, NVIDIA CEO, Jensen Huang, media mogul Rupert Murdoch. Those are the kind of people that were at the state dinner. Mm-hmm. And here we go. This is what I love. No, not that. Get rid of that. Here we go. And this is from Vogue. Because my favorite things. Bold color combos and big, big tiaras. What the Trumps and the royals wore to the state banquet at Windsor Castle. Here we are. I don't know. Can I make this bigger? Yes. Okay, let me see if I can get over here. Can I get over there? No. Ouch. I want to show you this. See this right here? This is called the Gravel Tiara. It's sapphires and diamonds. It used to be a necklace that Queen Mary bought, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they call it the corgi paw because if you look at it right here, it looks like a dog paw. And there's Melania. She's wearing Carolina Herrera. And that's like a pink belt or purple. Not exactly sure what. See, it was an unprecedented second state visit. Okay. So Melania was wearing canary yellow off-the-shoulder Carolina Herrera column gown with a lilac waist belt. You can't really tell. Vague magazine. Strike a pose. They're all intertwined. That dot joins to that dot. So if one joins them all together, it's an awful picture emerges. Yes. It's horrible. Oh, and frosted Manolo Blahnik pumps. Kate Middleton, or Catherine, the Princess of Wales, opted for one of her most glittering, glamorous looks in some time. The princess wore a cream-colored lilac couture gown by British designer Philippa Lepley, pairing it with a pearl-heavy tiara called the Cambridge Lover's Knot. It's one of her favorites. It's also the favorite of Princess Diana. Princess Diana is the one who kind of made it popular because she liked wearing it. Queen Camilla in a bright blue silk from Fiona Clare. The Belgian sapphire or the Greb tiara. Anyway, let's go down here. Here we go. Okay, that does kind of look lilac. That's an ad. This is what Catherine was wearing. This is just a silk dress. It's a silk sleeveless dress. And then this thing on here is Chantilly lace. It's bespoke. It was created for her from a style by the Lepley House. But that's basically a jacket. It's a big jacket. There's Princess Anne behind her. Michael Boulos. That's Tiffany Trump's husband. Would feed everyone in Gaza for years. Exactly. Yes, they would. We already looked at that one. And there, President Trump was seated next to Catherine at the table. 160 people eating dinner together. They had 100 waiters. There's William and Catherine together. See, that's that Lover's Knot tiara. There's Tiffany Trump. That's Trump's youngest daughter. She looked very nice. Here it is. There's that tiara. See why it's called a corgi paw? And then this necklace alone would probably buy a couple of us houses. Very pretty. There they are. There's all them people. 160 people. All eating dinner. Craziness. And then, of course, they have like the waiters and the footmen and whatnot. 100 of those. Crystal, China. There's Charles and Trump together. There's Princess Anne and her husband. Admiral Timothy Lawrence. Oh, look, it's Nancy Reagan. No, just kidding. There's Tiffany again. Anyway, oh, this is what Kate was wearing, or Catherine was wearing when they met the Trumps out there. I just love looking at that stuff. Wanted to share it with you guys. Didn't he promise his mom that she would never be queen? Queen Elizabeth knew that she would be queen consort. She wasn't supposed to be crowned queen. But of course, Charles basically, Mommy, you're dead. I'm going to do what I want. And so, yeah, Camilla was crowned queen. Not a royalist, by the way. Can you tell? Long story, goes back to the Scottish border. Oh, Hadrian's Wall. Yeah, I'm not really a royalist either. Don't be fooled by that rocks they got. You can find such living around. You could find such living around on the Jenny on the block. Yeah. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't really want to get political because I could go into deep dives. And I have no business sticking my nose into anything British politics. I've kept promises that I made to my grandma when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh, well, Harry and Meghan said they wouldn't use the Her Royal and His Royal Highness titles for commercial gain. But guess what? Every time they use the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, that's basically using their titles for commercial gain. So I could, yeah. Anyway, well, that's all I had for you today. So always remember, anything you hear that happens, that is supposed to happen tomorrow, if we're here on the 24th of September, really look into it hard. Don't just look at the TikTok or the X post or the whatever on Reddit. Really do some deep diving into it because we are in a huge age of deception. And of course, if you're having problems with anything, just need to talk to somebody. Somebody that might understand what you're going through, like a specialized helpline for veterans or for LGBTQIA plus, whatever. Always in my outro, in my video description, and in my about section, you can find a helpline. You don't have to be in desperate situations, but if you're going through something specific that they would be able to understand what you're going through, give them a call. I do. We have to be, my granddaughter's in the countdown to the 26th. Down to the minute she's turning 18. Oh, yeah, we have to be here. Okay. I love you guys. I love you. I will talk to you soon. The next thing we're going to do is emotional displacement. How we take up all that fear and anger and rage and everything, and we just redirect it onto something innocent. So we're going to talk about that. And then I am going to be going live more often and doing the FBI vaults. So, these little goofy things that I bring to you here, this hour or whatever it is, this takes me between 4 to 10 hours researching and gathering stuff. So, anything you give to the channel helps to support it. Helps to pay for my StreamYard and my Canva and my internet. And I appreciate it. Any kind of memberships or whatever, totally appreciate it. But most of all, I just like hanging out with you guys. I like hanging out with you guys. And I like it that you hang around with me.
It's time to sigh and roll your eyes. Put on that plastic smile. It's time for weird shit that Grandma talks about.
Okay, I hit the wrong one. Oops. Yeah, but the whole thing was just weird shit that Grandma talks about. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love you. Be good. I'll see you soon. Hopefully, I'm going out into the notifications now, getting back in the algorithm. I don't know. YouTube hates me. You love the camel. Okay.